So Heidi and I are going to attempt to cover this campground with just the action cam. The reason is because one of my wireless digital recorders, or digital recorder I should say, not the wireless ones, it just quit working, and it was one of our best ones. So normally what I would do is just capture audio on those digital recorders, one for Heidi, one for me, and then I would put them together later. But in this case, that's not the deal. So Heidi and I is going to head up to the front, and actually let's start from here, and this is the new section as we discussed. So yeah, we'll go around. So let's see where this takes us.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Just go our normal loop that we do, Hyde, this way.
Okay.
You know, we'll go through the new section and then so all this section is new, and you can hear the noise that is going on. That's due to a lot of construction that's going on over there. I'm not sure what the deal is. You may pick up wind on our microphones, but we try to cut that back as much as possible. I don't know if that's even possible. I'll try to drive as straight as possible, but I don't know if that's possible either. So we're probably picking up at a pretty busy time. What time is it? Is it noon?
Yeah, it's close.
Okay. So, yeah, apparently it's going to be noon here, so. All this loop is new. It's only been open since November 2020. I'm not sure when you guys are seeing this, but
Wonder if they're adding some new sections over there.
yeah, I'm not sure where at, because the camera can't
To your
see
right.
it. Oh, yeah, if you guys see off and to the right, I'll kind of go that way. It is kind of grassy over there, or sandy over there.
These sites are real spacious out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to say that's one thing that I do like is it seems like you have big lots. I mean, it's very nice. You don't seem to be on top of each other here. And the thing is you're going to see, so there's some other sites through the park that might not actually hold up to that. There's some other sites that actually they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that. Now, we're not going to drive you through the entire park, up and down every road, and we're only going to cover some of the stuff that we think might be showing enough diversity so you can get an idea of what the park has to offer. Again, we apologize for the wind if it's coming through. All these sites here have a lake behind them, which is pretty nice. And again, it's got to be noon, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's just checking in now.
It's 1 o'clock actually.
Oh, it's 1, so they're coming in late, and there's still sites for them. That's nice. So again, this is all new section over here to kind of our right, but we're going to be going around and down that loop, and there's annual sites there also. So we'll head out this way. Again, I feel as if there's a lot of wind. This is the Brazen Brits right here on our left in the reflection. And then just behind them is the Wayward Wags. All right, the wind picked up quite a bit there. So again, this loop, all new section.
Hi.
And all these sites to our left are annual sites, every one of them.
Both sides must be.
Yeah, same. It looks like the annual sites are on the right too. I think
Yeah.
you're right, Heidi. ATC, that's Ohio. We have an ATC dealer in Alliance. We walked through some of those RVs at the Cleveland RV show. If you didn't see that video, go back and check it out. That was the RV show that we had already bought our RV, but went anyways. Again, these are annual sites and they're up against the woods. That's kind of nice. Sorry about the wind. Eventually we'll get Heidi in front of us and she can point out some stuff. So this is another nice area. This is
Where
site
all the
number
cabins
1.
are.
And you can
How
see
many cabins do they have?
there's a lake out here. The getaway cabins, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Which we'll drive through there. We haven't been through there ourselves. But we'll go through that section. And then there's people that ride their bikes like it's recreation, which I get it. So D section is ahead of us. That's all RVs. Let me just let's just kind of look at the cabins here because it's all the same. And then I'll
It'll
turn around.
kiss out to the.
It will, but I want to show what that loop looks like. So all these cabins through here, this is all the getaway cabins. If you have a Thousand Trails collection like we do, we have a bunch of free stays at these getaways, but we never used them.
I think that we can use them if we're here and
Yes.
and family, as long as it's the same park.
Right. Yeah, like if we're here for a while and then we want our family to come visit, they can stay in the cabin for free or real cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cheap. It's not, maybe it's not free, but it's really cheap. All right, so we're going to go down to what I think would be one of the coolest sections to stay at. And I'm not 100% sure how many sites are down here is available. Do you know, Hyde?
No. But we can show that map
Yeah,
because the sections back here are,
not all of it
and
is.
all these over here to the left are actually on the map.
Yeah, everything's on the map. But
Well, except the new section's not.
right, and the other problem that we have with these sections that we're going through, not all of them are for, just staying a couple weeks. Some of them are annual sites, and they'll put signs up telling you that. So you can stay here for obviously seasonal, 6 months, or you can also do annual, the whole thing, for a year, entire year. But I would expect summer's pretty rough. Like this one that we just passed on the left here, this Bighorn site, that's a personal site. That's an annual site. So you'll see there'll be signs that say this is a personal site, choose another one. So this section here is what I consider kind of more wooded, a little bit nicer area.
The rustic site.
Yeah. Howdy. So we'll go through here and you can see some of the sites are kind of small. And they do have sewer hookup back here. They do have electricity. And again, some of these are annual sites, but they're pretty cool. Like that one that we just kind of went past. Let me see if I can flip us around. Oh, I guess I can't. It's a drive-through. That's a drive-through site. These over here on the left, these are just back ends. But they're very secluded. Some of them are really secluded, so let's go ahead and show you like this one here. You can see how secluded that is. You have your power outlet off to the right there, and then of course there's sewer hookup. We'll go ahead and go back out on the road. These are definitely older sites that have been here for a while, but if you want to be primitive, you can. Again, here's another one. I'll just kind of point this out. See how it kind of backs up to all these woods. From what I can tell, though, this one, I don't see sewer. It might be there, but maybe I just don't see it. There's another site here. See that? Kind of cool. Again, for you just seen the kind of park that we were in and how secluded these sites are. Here we got the cabins, the other end of the cabins. So we'll go ahead and show you that first. And then we'll flip around. I'm going to show you the seclusion of like this site right here.
Yeah, that site seems real nice.
Yeah, see how secluded all that is back there? It's very, very nice. I really like it. I would suspect that it's a little bit cooler. It does have some shade. So that's basically this whole area here. There's a couple of sites that we'll wrap around to that look really, really nice, you'll see. And that's because they kind of are the closest sites that you can get to the lake. So you can walk down to the lake. A couple of rental cabins here again. Again, we won't go down every one of these roads, but like this is an annual site. There's another secluded site right there, number 19. Yeah, you can see fifth wheels get in here. But we'll go down to the sites that go around real close to the lake. That'll be the next ones we pick up.
Hello.
That's a nice site off to the right here.
That's a nice site right there.
Yeah.
81.
Yeah, very nice up against the woods.
Right here's another one.
Yeah, another that Heidi just pointed out when we passed there. You can go back and look. It's kind of a drive-through. Another secluded site here on the right. All these look like annual sites that are going on here.
These ones right here, if you wanted a lot of sun.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, if you're needing sun like we have, these aren't bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. They look primitive though. I don't see any sewers on those. Good. So we have all of these sites here too, which again,
It's a,
Pretty good seclusion.
hello.
Your bikes, we have them too.
Oh, here's a nice site.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Again, I find that a lot of these sites are something that I think we would like to stay at next time.
14.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
141.
144.
Yeah, 145.
Yeah. This one right here.
Yeah, it's just pleasant back here.
This one right here. Maybe
Yeah.
it's all three of those.
So here's one that says personal site. That's because it's an annual. Sorry about the wind. There's only so much we can do about that. And all this section is considered the D section. So whenever you come here, if you want to be in this area somewhere and they say, what section do you want to be at? You just want to say the D section.
It's nice and cool back here.
You have today for sure.
Yeah.
But there's so much sun that is blocked out by all these trees. So that makes it awful nice. So what we're going to do here is stay in the D section, and we're going to go down past some of the sites that we think are pretty darn nice, but we do have an RV that's checking in, or
I what? Stop. Pull over for a second.
basically they are
Car behind us.
allowing themselves to choose a site. So we'll hold up here. All right, so we'll go a little further here, and like I said, there's a road here. It's called Watson Woods Road, and it is a do not enter. I'm not sure what the deal is, but it looks like somebody's house is back there. So again, these are annual sites. And you
Hello.
can see way off in the distance, maybe, these are annual sites, but the lake, it's way off in the distance there. The cameras are going to make it harder to see than what we can, but these would be some very desirable sites, as you can tell they're annuals and they don't like to give them up, which I can't blame them. Basically, you can get to the lake from here. And again, these are all long-term, basically residents.
Yeah. For sure.
Now, if you don't know, the road that you come in on off of 27 is Thousand Trails Boulevard. So we'll go ahead and show you what's at the end of Thousand Trails Boulevard, and that's the lake. They have kayaks down here and some boats. Your boat launch, if you have your own boat, they have a parking off to the right here. And then, of course, you can fish. I don't know the requirements of the fishing that's down here, if you've got to buy a pass or a license, but seems to be a lot of people that come down here and fish. And then there's a dog park back there. It's fenced in also. I'll show that to you out in the distance. And again, all those houses that we saw, they can get to this section here, just coming through their backyards, basically. So you can see here the boats, and then the lake. And there's no swimming because there's alligators. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and head back up to the next section, which I don't remember what the next section was. Do you? What's the next section?
That we like?
The next section that we're going to.
One to the right up here?
Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but we're going to pick this back up when we're at the entrance to the next section. All right, so now we're moving into this section here, which will remain nameless at this point because we don't know. Some of these sites are shared sites. The concrete pads are shared, but we'll show you what that looks like. We'll come down the middle here, and we'll see what you think about all this. Again, it's shared concrete, so if you want to look, I'll see if I can find one here you can take a peek at. Like this one here, you can see it's kind of a buddy site, meaning that you're kind of sharing utilities to some extent. And if you've got a friend that you want to camp with, I mean, that'd be perfect. But two slides, you're going to be up against each other on these pads. But again, it is all concrete and it is pretty spacious, right? I mean, they're not bad sites.
Yeah, you have to watch. If you could get your rig in there and not bump slides.
Yeah, bumping slides, that might be a thing. But it's,
I suppose if it was the only place for you to go, well, it'd be terrible.
No, I kind of like it. I mean, all the concrete part.
Right.
I mean, you're definitely covered when it comes to that. And there's basically like two rows, and we're seeing both of them on our right and on our left. And then it'll go back to traditional sites a little bit further down, and we'll take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know about that myself. Good. So again, double sites here. You can see here what this site looks like. And then we'll just make a right here and go around. All these sites you can see up ahead of us, these are traditional campsites. So, limited concrete, sand, kind
But
of a
still
site.
kind of spacious.
Yeah. Now you're going to see some construction off to the right when we get around the corner here. That construction is a housing development apparently they're putting in. It has nothing to do with this place as far as I know. And you can tell that they're looking like they're going to create more lakes, which I'll try to get a good advantage point here that you might be able to see. Sorry about the wind. Like I said, there's only so much we can do with that.
There's also
There's pool here.
bathrooms and laundry throughout the campground. If you needed to be close to one, you might want to look at the map.
Yeah.
Because right now where we're at,
We're pretty far away.
well, it's not finished.
Yeah. So you can see off in the distance there, this is what I was told was a housing development. And I can tell by the way that they've channeled down in the ground there. I mean, obviously they need to do that for all the plumbing and that. However, I wonder if they're going to run canals off of the lake to expand the lake basically. But a lot of these sites, these are traditional. This is traditional sites. So some of you might be looking at the pad and, oh God, it's broken up and that. At least you got a pad. Some of the
Better
sites,
than mud.
Yeah, better than mud. Yeah, which I think we might experience that at Peace River possibly. Again, you'll see Wi-Fi tower repeaters throughout the park, but I'm sure some parks or some parts of the parks might be a little bit more difficult to get signal than others. Well, this site wouldn't be too private, that's for sure. But for Thousand Trails members, I mean, might be something you want to do. So it looks like I can pretty much say without a doubt at this point that they are doing guided check-ins at this
Yeah.
point. They're actually finding these people's sites.
Maybe whenever the campground gets so full that it's probably easier to guide them to the spots.
I agree. I think that's exactly that.
Whenever there's only, like whenever we were pulled in here, there was a lot of sites available.
You're going to see off in the distance there on the left, that's Doug. That's the guys that put our awning on our RV.
Travel time.
Travel time, yeah. They're in the area for a time. They may be back next season, but I think they're out of here in April. So they got a short time left. So you can see these sites are ones you have to drive up on.
Why is it so noisy?
Again, traditional sites. This seems like a nice section to belong to. I like it. Heidi and I's discussed it. I don't know. We would have to find a corner. We'd have to find a corner down here.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go all the way down around the loop, but that's basically all those sites over there are up against the woods. But we're going to shoot up through here and kind of shortcut it a little bit. And all those sites down there, they're good. I don't see anything wrong with them. And again, they're pretty typical as far as the size. Looks like it could get muddy or kind of wet in a couple sections. And then here's another ATC trailer, and it's all wooded. It's nice. Some of the pads are freshly poured. You can see they're doing some upgrades. And then again, way off in the distance on the right there, you can see all the sites that are up against woods. So if you want some privacy behind you, that's it. But I wanted to show you what it looks like, you know, as far as if you get in, if you're in the middle. And it's still, this park is huge. Well, how many sites were there?
60 some?
Yeah, so quite a few.
Yeah, we've been to parks that are definitely closer together.
Yeah, namely Pirate Land.
Yeah.
Or even the...
East Harbor.
Yes, East Harbor. Those are close, very close. So I'm not going to take you down to the right. We will show you what that looks like, though. That is a dead-end loop that you can get to another section of the park, but it's not a drive-through. And the sites, again, up against woods, and then you can see here, maybe through the trees, the sun glistening off of lily pads that are out there in the water. So again, if you want to get a little bit more nature and rustic, I mean, they have the ability for you to do that. That's the best thing about this park, is how diverse it seems to be. You go from the concrete jungle that we're in to what looks like the real jungle, and then these are just traditional sites all through here. I'll let Heidi pass us, and I'm going to pan real quick here. You can just see. I mean, this is just a traditional RV park through here. All right, so now we're going to go to another section that I like. And it's open, but you can see the loop is kind of private. So as far as traffic wise, I bet you it's far less. Now, when we first got here, there were close to 20, 30 kids that were just in this entire area. It took up all this area. Looks like they departed. These are personal sites and annual sites off to the right. Again, it has a lake that they back up against, so stands the reason people would like to have that view. And here's another vehicle checking in. I'm going to get in front of Heidi here. These are very nice sights through here. I mean, you're getting sun. You're getting quite a bit of sun. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's secluded.
Get
back
no
there in the
ideas.
woods. Yeah.
That big old fifth wheel back there with the trailer.
Yeah, right. So we got to deal with another speed bump here. Again, all these sites up against the woods, and you can see most of them are annual sites, seasonal sites, personal sites. So off of this section here, you can see the check-in station that they may have you stage at that's straight ahead. And then to our left, that's out of camera view, most likely is the actual gate that you go through to get in. But this loop here, I think this is probably one of my favorite loops. I don't know why, other than the wooded one. So I think that the D section would be my first choice, and this might be my second choice. The sites are a little uneven, but they're getting them done. They're putting in new pads. Very sparse on the trees and the foliage and that. However, I think it's more secluded and definitely less traffic.
Oh, yes, for sure.
There's hardly any, I mean, there's no reason for traffic to be back here. And again, if you want to do something like this, of course, this is an annual site, but if you do something like this one here, you can see again off in the distance there, barely, water. So you have a water feature that you could do there. I mean, this is a site that I wouldn't mind being at annually.
I never read the personal site sign.
Yeah.
Just until now.
Oh, sorry about the wind again. And the best part about the annual sites, somebody else mows your lawn. I'm not sure where this goes to. Oh, yeah, I do. This goes to that other loop that I was talking about, which is kind of cool. So here's a section that's probably the deadest end of the deadest end. And again, it's kind of the back way to get to the check-in. You're outside the gate here, so you'd have to be concerned about that on some level, but like if you have overflow parking, you need to park your car in the overflow parking car lot, you would be as close as you could be to it right here in that stretch there. So I really like this loop. I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's like a little neighborhood, its own little neighborhood.
This loop also would be pretty close to the pool.
Yeah, this isn't far from the pool at all. Which you'll see here, well, not so much the pool, but you'll see when we go around the corner here, we're going to be coming up on the rec center, which is where you get your mail. They have a little store there where you can go to the food trucks when they have food trucks here.
The trash.
Trash is here, yeah, local. So if you're leaving this section here, you pretty much pass the trash every day.
Yeah.
In our case, that's if you're leaving every day. In our case, though, like where we're at, we have to actually kind of backtrack into the park more to empty our trash. Again, these are all pretty much annual sites here. So if we make a right here, you go out the gate pretty much. You go to the next stop sign and you can go out the gate, which we're not going to go that direction. I'll kind of just show you. Basically, you can see the birds off in the distance. Basically, the people coming through there, they're all coming through the gate, and then once they make this turn, they can
get in front of you.
Go down further, and you can get to our place. Also, if you need propane, the propane station is basically just behind HEIDI's back on the right, where that truck just turned from, sort of. You can see one propane tank, but there's a couple others. So as far as getting propane, it's not a big routine. They're open 24 hours, 7 days a week, so they say. So that's kind of nice. And our section's off there in the distance, so we're going to make a loop and go a different way to get to that section. So all this open field, there's a little pond down there. Again, the swimming pool's relatively close. It's kind of a community section there. There's a basketball court there. The backstops are adjustable. You can lower them if you've got kids. Now we're heading a little bit further along. And again, off to the right will be pickleball courts, which is kind of a thing here. There's a lot of people that do the pickleball courts. Right now they're doing some kind of jazzercise.
There's pickleball.
Dance,
Michael
musical
says
dance.
that he loves to play
They
pickleball.
do have activities
or he would
here.
like to play pickleball. Looks like they're over there dancing. Well, that's cool.
All right, so more pickleball courts here off to the right, other than what we just see there with the dance session going on. And they have pickleball tournaments here. Off to the right is some sort of parking, and there is a playground. And again, we can see the swimming pool there. We'll go ahead and kind of go in that direction. And you have shuffleball courts. And then off in the distance is also horseshoe pits. Like I said, there's the playground. We'll try to show you that real quick. And then there's a hot tub that's there, also a whirlpool.
Jacuzzi.
So, yeah, and a little jacuzzi action.
So this is the first park that we've been at that actually had playground equipment.
But they have it all blocked off because of COVID.
Just because of COVID. but
Right.
I'm sure that they'll be back in use soon.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So this is the back of the rec center. So we'll drive around, continue around this front here. It'll start getting busy as far as traffic when we do get around here because everybody comes up here for all kinds of stuff. Check-in, trash, again, their mail, the store. The store is very basic. Again, you can see all these sites off in the distance. That's the ones that we passed earlier. They were all off to our left when we were skirting the perimeter of the park. And again, they're all basically the same. So this is a extremely popular section right through here. And it's because of our trash. The trash is here. And you got, well, one of the compactors is gone, but you can see there's 3 trash containers and then there's recycle there. And then again, this is the rec center.
I'm sorry that guy has to clean that up. That's people should be ashamed.
Yeah, what happened was one of the compactors, I don't know, they couldn't make it work.
Well, because of the holiday, they're behind,
and they
I'm
got
sure,
full.
a day or so.
So people just threw their trash there.
And before the holiday, there was already 2 dumpsters full.
Right, exactly. So this is, again, it's one of the most popular places here because this is the rec center. And then there's another basketball court over there. Again, you can see how low the hoop is, so the kids can put it to whatever height they want. It's just a crank on the back, real easy to do.
I could play basketball.
Heidi could slam dunk. She could be a slam dunker. So now we'll just head out this way. Wait till this truck goes by.
You need turn signals there, buddy.
So if there's a food truck up here, which there's not, but when the food trucks do show up, they're usually right here as this truck makes its left-hand turn right here. They're immediately on the right. That's usually where they park. Sometimes I think they park over here also. So this is pretty much where we started at, but of course we did that loop that's directly in front of us. So back on Thousand Trails Road, like I said, that's kind of the main drag to get you in here, or it is the main drag. We're going to go ahead and go back to our site, which is nothing more down this hill. We'll make a left and then into the new park. So I'll show you what that looks like, and that way you know when you first come through the gate, if you want a site in the new section, then you're going to come through the gate and turn right on Campana Road. Now, again, that's if they're not staging you and sending you to the sites, you know, on golf carts. Like in our case, they just cut us loose. And again, this is all the new section. This is 165 brand new sites. Nice. I mean, it's nice, but you can see no foliage. The only people that are enjoying anything are the people that have their annual sites up against the trees and that.
Yeah,
and I'll have to say that the noise right now.
Where we're at is probably pretty noisy.
Yeah.
By the pool is probably pretty noisy.
Right.
So if you want to stay away from like road noise,
Right.
definitely get as far as you can in the back of the park.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Because even though we're who knows how far away from the highway, we hear a lot of traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, we do hear.
It's not a bother though.
Yeah, you hear loud exhaust mainly. Cars that are racing, stuff like that. But this is our section. This is our little trip, and hopefully you guys picked up on where you might want to stay.